Interesting. I'm just having like all kinds of fucking warfare trying to get this fucking message out. And I'm cussing because I'm fucking pissed. Alright. Trying to get this message out. It's like they don't want me to get this reading. They just don't want me to. Like I don't get it. I don't care. I'm about to start this reading all over again because I had to. The first time that I started the live, it cut out, and I tried to go back into the live and it kept saying there's an error with the upload, right? So I had to click out of it, and it didn't even save that live. It sent me an email saying that I went live, and when I went back to check that live, it said that I deleted it. Like, really? How? That's interesting. Okay, whatever you say, YouTube. All right. So yeah, no, fuck that. I'm about to redo this again. So I did a motivational video, motivational pick a card, motivation you need, and I used all gaming cards, one of them being the Sailor Moon ones. So when I went back to put them in the bag, I looked at the back of the deck. So I accidentally put my Pokemon cards in the same bag as my Sailor Moon game cards. I'm like, take it out. And then this was at the bottom of that deck. And I looked at the cards. I'm like, okay, I don't like this card, Dark Senshi. And I looked at it. Then the Brainwash card came out. Then I pulled some more. Behind that, it was Sailor Venus and the Sailor Guardian attack with Sailor Mars. So I said to myself, there's a message in this. Needless to say, it was. So that's when I went ahead and just channeled a whole message. So then I did this whole long ass video that YouTube just decides, oh girl, we gonna cut your shit off. We're gonna cut it off. So I have to do this all over again. It's all good. Maybe this will be the one. This will be the chosen video right here. This will be the one. Okay. I'm gonna use tarot. I'm gonna use the Sailor Oracle cards. Greetings. So the message that I got was that there is a dark feminine energy here. It could be a masculine as well that's dark in energy, as y'all like to call them, karmic energies. And this person is a negative influence on this masculine that I feel like is a divine masculine, because Tuxedo Mask in this card, this I believe was an episode where Tuxedo Mask turned on all the Sailor Guardians because he was possessed by the Dark Kingdom. And the card being called brainwashed, excuse me, not possessed, it's called brainwash. You can't really see it because the blur, excuse me, my stomach's growling. With it being called brainwash, like that's self-explanatory. This dark feminine energy is, or masculine, is affecting this person negatively and causing them to have a warped perception of what a true divine partner is, specifically what a true divine feminine is, because they have this dark feminine energy around them projecting all types of energies. So the only way is to combat this energy is with love, with Sailor Venus and the Guardian attack card with Sailor Mars, the god of war. Mars is the god of war. Venus is the planet of love. So that's the only way to combat this energy. And Spirit just gave me a download while I was doing the first reading. They showed me this scripture. Like Spirit was like, okay, because I seen this video. It's called they call it prophetic messages in this Christian community, similar to like, you know, what we do. They just, you know, channel messages differently than we do, right? They call their divine counterparts, they call it kingdom marriages and kingdom spouses. So her video was about a kingdom spouse situation. And she said that she knew what her calling or her purpose was of her kingdom marriage, right? But she needed the confirmation. So God gave her a scripture. And I looked up the scripture that she wrote. And when I'm doing the reading midway through this, it just like kind of like hit me, okay? Because I'm like, I feel like Spirit wants me to bring that scripture up, but I don't know why or how, right? Why? And as I'm doing the first like the first try of doing this reading, the scripture comes to mind. So I'm going to read it again. hopefully whoever these monitors, because sometimes they have people watching your channel that are working for YouTube, and they pick and choose where they want to demonetize your shit, shadow ban your shit. So I'm gonna read it again, because y'all fuckers is a whole organization of your own fuckery that y'all like to do. Anyway, oh, I know why they be attacking my channel. I used to be like, well, people talk about God all the time on, because that's Christian channels. My shit is supposed to be tarot. They don't want me talking about that shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it anyway. So here we go. It's 1 Peter 3:1-6. So the scripture says, wives, in the same way that the same way you submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe in the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives. So what it's basically saying, it's just talking about a divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy, that the way that she walks and lives her life in her essence and her truth, and showing reverence for her divine creator and herself, self-love, the fruits of her character, her spirit, is what will win this person over. This masculine energy that's heavily deceived very well could be spiritually lost right now, spiritually capped, spiritually blinded. Their connection with source is not solid in a way. So there's this infiltration of this dark feminine energy that has a negative impact on this person's life, right? And spirit is like, I need this to stop, right? This is blocking this person, because tuxedo mask, if you're into Sailor Moon, or you're familiar with Sailor Moon, tuxedo mask is the divine masculine, and he's Sailor Moon's counterpart, basically. This show pretty much talks about soulmates, twin flames, if you want to call it that, and past lives, reincarnated. It's a very deep show for it to be a child show, and I've talked about this plenty of times on my channel. Y'all know how I feel about Sailor Moon. That's my shit. But Tuxedo, he's a significant character on the show. He's also the protector as well. So if they can infiltrate this masculine and stop him, because the person, it's not so much about the karmic, as y'all like to call it. It's not so much about the person, he or she, whatever the karmic is, whatever their physical body is. It's the spirit that works in them. And if this is a person that, let's say, is heavily wounded, they're receptive to being divine, not even divinely used, demonically used. Or if they're just a dark person. Some people don't even have spirits. Some people don't even have souls. Not everybody has a soul. So some people are just walking vessels for darkness. It's easier to infiltrate those types of people. So there's someone around. It could be you watching. This could be you are the one that's dealing with this dark person. Or you are connected with someone that you know is your divine mate that is caught up with dark feminines. Dark feminines could be in a male body. It doesn't always have to be a woman's body or a dark masculine energy, but I feel strongly it's a woman. It's a feminine energy. And that was another thing too that Spirit wanted me to get at. But before I get into how these feminine energies really block a man's purpose and calling, or anyone's calling, a masculine or a male demonically assigned masculine in a woman's life can stop her blessing. It's happened to me before. You got to be discerning. So I'm going to get back into the scripture. It says, your beauty should not come from outward adornments, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes, but rather it should be that of inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. So it's not saying that you shouldn't be beautiful or you shouldn't take care of yourself. It's saying that that should not be what defines you as a person, as a beauty, your worth, your character, and your relationship with the divine, and walking in your purpose and your path, because we all fall short. We're not perfect. We all have our ways about us, or we might have come from dark past where we weren't always good people. I know that back in the day, I was a hot mess back in the day. Like, I wasn't always on the up and up, and I'm still, working through my stuff. I feel like it's your character, your heart, your intentions, it's everything. And is it pleasing to your creator? Fuck what everybody else thinks. Is it pleasing to your creator? And you being the example of that, that's what wins this heart, the man's heart over. Because the beauty and all that, the sexy bodies and all that aesthetics and the designer clothes and all of that, designer bags and all that stuff fades. You don't take that shit with you when you leave out of this planet, out of this earth. No one's gonna remember you solely off of, oh, how fat your ass was. Like, if that's all they remember you for, then that's sad, right? Nobody's, that's not it. Like, your character, who you were, what type of impact you had on people, that's what you leave here on this earth. So Spirit is saying that Esther, we talk about the book of Esther a lot, they they talked about her favor, her beauty. Yes, Esther was beautiful, but she was picked not because solely of that. She was chosen as the queen because of her favor, because of her light, the godliness of her, the divinity of her is what caught the prince's eye. Because I'm sure there was a whole bunch of bad chicks up in, that was competing. I'm sure it was. But that's not what got them chosen. And then you think about another popular story in the Bible, the story of Ruth, how this noble guy, Boaz, took notice of her work ethic. She was working in the field. She was doing what she had to do. She was respectful towards everyone. She wasn't picking and choosing who she was nice to, or, he mentioned her character. So that is A1. That's a key thing. Like, it's not about all of that, all of this. Like, it's really not. And a real man will tell you, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, all that stuff looks good, but it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Like, and some people will look at it and be like, oh, she's fat, why is she with him? Or, oh, he's not all that cute, because it's a person's character. Real men and women, like, you can appreciate a fine female, a fine dude. Even if you're straight, you can look at somebody and be like, oh, she's pretty, or she has a nice body. But at the end of the day, if this person is like an empty vessel and that's all they are, and some men would just say that's just good to look at, or that's just good to sleep with, or just have fun with, but that's not something I would wife. And some people don't get that. They look at certain couples and be like, why are they together? Oh, he's too fine, or she's too fine for him. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Like, a lot of times it's really about the heart at the end of the day, because that shit's boring. I don't know if y'all ever experienced that, but a fine dude and that's all he has to offer, that can't do shit for me. Like, I can't even do nothing with that. Like, it's nothing to me. So I don't understand why people just don't get it. But yeah, where's it at? So it says, for this is the way the holy women of the past who put their hope in God used to adorn themselves. They adorned themselves with the pleasant sight of what God saw pleasant in them, the light in them, the character of them, the heart of them is what is their adornment. It's a plus to be beautiful. It's not a plus to be a good person and be beautiful. It's a plus to be a good person. Like, oh, I could see a beautiful person, but it should be a plus. I said it wrong. It should be a plus to say, I have a good person, but she fine though, right? Or he's fine. Yeah, I can't do it either, y'all. So it says, they submitted themselves to their own husbands, like Sarah, who obeyed Abraham and called him her Lord. You are her daughters if you do what is right and do not give way to fear. So that last line is very telling too. It says, if you do right, meaning if you stick to, like, you know how some people say, like, girl, sis, don't be judging yourself because you got a 9-to-5 or because it's easy. I'm telling you. And I had this sometimes. I'd be like, shit, I should just be a stripper. Like, what am I doing? Like, I should just be an OnlyFans, because why am I struggling? And it seems like dudes, they like the hoes, they like the ratchets, they like the fast, they like they like bitches. And when I say bitches, I mean like they like bitchy women. They like dominant, controlling, manipulative women. They like women that are trouble. The they like the, what do you call it? Like the drama. They like the toxicity. Like, so you be like, shit, I might as well just be toxic. Like being kind and all that, that don't pay. That don't get you nowhere, right? But Spirit is saying, if you don't give way to fear and settle, or settle to be something you are not, because I tried the bad bitch road when I was younger. I tried that. That's not for me. Um, that is not for me. So the dark entity, here you come. So that's not for me. When I was 18, 19, I wanted to be seen. I would be wearing close to nothing. Like I was doing the most, and that just wasn't for me. And that attracted the wrong type of people, the wrong type of men. I was attracted to the wrong type of men. So it's a whole different energy now. So fast forward into this, let's talk about the reading again. So that scripture, again, what I got from that is like, don't, as my sis says, don't be weary in well-doing. Because when you stay focused on your path, you stay focused on what the divine wants you to do, that's all that matters. It's going to lead you to where you're supposed to be. Don't get distracted. Don't get caught up in what it looks like, or what the ways of the world, what the opinions of man is, if that makes sense. Because your first priority is, am I pleasing to the sight of my creator? That's number one. Then husband or wife comes next, or whoever your mate is. And in the other one, this was something I almost forgot to mention, but in the other video, what I was getting was, you have to be careful who you call your mate, because not everybody is divine. Because you could be interested, or you could be in love with a man or woman that's not divinely meant for you. And if you're calling them that, or you marry somebody that's not meant for you, that was not divinely sent to you, and you to them, this person could be a block in your purpose or your path. So it was an example that I was getting at. Oh, so I have an associate that I'm cool with, that they have a business or whatever. And a few years ago, it was going really well. Like even beginning of this year, it was really, really, really doing good. But I noticed, and my mom had said this the other night, she was like, or it was last night actually, she was like, it's not prospering because of the woman he's with. And that hit me. And I was like, you're right. I resonate with that. I get you. Because when I envisioned this person with the woman that I would think he would end up with, like I saw like this very welcoming, open woman, like this earthy spirit like woman. Just when I say earthly, like down to earth, very welcoming. That's who I saw him. That's who I envisioned him being with. And then when I seen this woman that he was with, I was just like, she does not fit. Like, and her energy, it just shifts the atmosphere, and it's not in a good way. So when my mom said that, I'm like, that makes sense. So this is another thing that I'm getting. When you have demonic assignments, or people divinely or demonically assigned to your life, there's a difference. People that are divinely assigned to your life, they edify your life. They pour into your life, and vice versa. You multiply. But when you're with people that are demonically assigned to your life, whether it's friends, coworkers, lovers, especially specifically, because this is what we're talking about, these people, these specific people, they'll take away from, because either one, they're there to seek to kill, steal, and destroy. They like control. So they'll come into your life and they'll tell you what to wear, how to dress, what to eat, what blah blah, where to go, who to be friends with. Oh, I don't want you to do this. Oh, I don't like this person. And they'll get in the person's head and convince them to exclude themselves or to eliminate people and things out of their life. You have to be very careful of those type of people. I was in a relationship with somebody that was like that controlled everything I did. And I submitted myself to this person because that was who I was sleeping with. I energetically tied myself to that person, and it was years and years and years of abuse. So you have to be very careful. Another way that God will stop certain fruits and things and seeds that you're trying to plant is because they don't want you sharing it with these people. I can't bless you until you get rid of these people. I can't bless you till you get rid of him or her. That's how it happens. So sometimes things won't prosper because you got the wrong people in the mix. And sometimes the enemy is the very person you sleep with, the very person you're married to. So that's why this person is like the Sailor Venus and the Guardian of Attack. The thing that's going to combat this energy is love, and not love from a place of a pick me place, because we have to be careful with that too. Like pick me, like, oh, I'm gonna show him that I'm the prize, or I'm gonna prove to him that I'm the one, or I'm gonna do so much for her. That's coming from a place of codependency. That's coming from a place of low self-esteem. You naturally show that you're a good person through the fruits of your labor, just being, you do the things that you do out of the kindness of your heart. How you treat others, you are an example of that to others, including this person. Because if you're in a dark connection, it's not unconditionally loving. It's not unconditionally loving. There's people to this day that have fucked me over and all of that, but I still have compassion enough to say, I don't want to see this person get hurt, though, or I wouldn't want to see this person die, per se. It's a difference between certain types of people and certain types of energies. I feel like either this is you or this is someone you're dealing with that is in this. The only thing that I'm getting is to be an example. If this is you, you are not to step in and try to be the super save a hoe or the super save a fuck boy. Like, that's not your job. Your job is to be a living and walking example and testament. Yeah. Let's see. Let's pull some cards on this. We're gonna clarify. Yeah, I feel like this is a feminine, but you guys this could be a male. Like I said, some of you guys, this could be your testimony. Like, you don't have to still be in this energy, because what I was getting, like, I was guided to share kind of like a little bit with you guys. Like, when I was in a relationship with this person for years, this person would like kill the root of my goals, my dreams. Like, if it wasn't something that they liked or they agreed with, they would talk down on it. And it would be some things that I always wanted to do that I stopped doing because this person didn't like it, or they like try to attack it. Those are demonically influenced people. When you have people that discourage what's in your heart chakra, they try to kill it before it even takes root. You don't want those people in your life. Those are the enemy. The enemy is a person that likes to condemn you and make you feel like you're worthless, you can't do better, you'll never be better. They try to remind you of your past, or they try to gaslight you and convince you that you're something that you're not, or you're less than, or you'll never excel, you'll never do better. That's how you know you're dealing with a enemy rather than a ally, a true ally. And like I said, a lot of people be sleeping with the enemy. A lot of people sleep with the enemy, I'm telling you. And you got to be careful what type of enemies you sleep with, because some of these people, they have succubus energy, or they have incubus energy, or spirits, and you sleep with these people and you can't figure out why you can't let them go. You don't necessarily like the person. You you don't like the spirit of the person. You're just like, this, I don't know why this dude irritates me, or why this chick, I can't stand her. Why won't she leave me alone? Why are we still like, you can't figure out why you can't let it go. It's because you're still, you're being brainwashed. You're still convinced, you're convinced to sleep with them. There's so many times where I wanted to leave that relationship. Like, we were toxic for each other. Don't get me wrong. Like, we were both toxic. It got to a point where I felt so spiritually dead. And I felt so depressed. And I felt like shit. Like, I just felt like shit. But it got to a place where I'm like, no, I'm better than that. Like, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be loved. And it was a point where, when I made it up in my mind that I was going to let that relationship, like, truly, really let it go, not go back and forth with them anymore. Like, I was done. And I was like, my energy was different. I felt so free, so light. And he would always, like, he felt it. And he would make little comments and stuff. But I got to a place where I was so high up here, vibration, that shit didn't affect me. I don't see you. I don't hear you. And then I'll never forget when he walked out, because he was living with me at the time. He was staying with me. And he packed his stuff and he took everything out. And when he took the last of his stuff out and he finally, like, left and walked out the door, I felt a weight off of me. I felt so light, I almost fainted. Like, that's how light I felt. His energy was like, it almost feels like, you know how when kids are playing in the pool, like, they're playing in the pool and, like, a kid, like, gets on top of the other one and, like, pushes them down the water and it's hard to get up out of the water. That's what it felt like. So when he left, I felt like I was coming out of the water and I could breathe. That's what it felt like. So, yeah. You had to break that illusion, that attachment to things and people that are not for you. And all of the programming, all of the word curses, all of the gaslighting, all of that, you had to break free of that. And then when you see it, it might piss you off that you see it, like, oh fuck, like, you might get mad at yourself, you might get mad at that person, but you cannot do that, because everything is a learning lesson. Be grateful that you came out of it and you're not still in that energy. Two of Cups. I'm not reading this like a nice Two of Cups. You see that dark cloud coming out of the cups? This is like a false union. This is a false union. And I feel like the darkness, either this is you or this is your person. The Death card, yep. Kill, steal, and destroy. You and this person, if it's not the other way around where you are witness to someone's, like, hurt, then or them being trapped in a karmic connection, I feel like it's the toxicity, the shadow within both parties that are attracted to one another. The Four of Swords. Somebody is contemplating coming out of this, though, with the Four of Swords. Like, someone is maybe praying for this, or someone is recovering from this type of connection. Like, someone's recovering from it. Removing the veil. Yeah. Okay. Six of Wands. So someone is going to free themselves, though, with the Six of Wands. I do feel like your person, or you, whoever this is going to get the victory. And it feels like it's a renewal, because it's a child on this horse. So it's like a renewal. It's a rebirth. And it might take that, like, yeah, that makes sense. So if it is that this coupling, whether this is you that resonates with this or this is your person, the coupling where the toxic, the shadow self resonated with that person's shadow, once that person elevates past their shadow, they no longer vibrate on that energy, they're renewed, they're free from that connection. No more being stuck. Yeah, justice. So this is a karmic energy, but I feel like someone at the end of the day, they're going to get their just due because of the choice and decision that they make. The justice card, I take it as, yeah, it's a divine justice, a karmic justice, but it's also about choices. So any choice that I'm making, it's going to affect the next phase of my life. So I have to be very careful of the choices or decisions that I'm making at this time. That's what I'm getting from this. The sun. Yep. Someone is going to have a complete transformation and rebirth. Yep. Complete transformation and rebirth. And again, it's that child's, it's that childlike essence. Childlike essence. Oof, I'm being attacked right now. I can't. Y'all not gonna do it. I'm sorry. YouTube is such a fucker, and I see how they don't abide by their rules. They pick and choose who and what, like what rules they play by. Yeah, YouTube is something else. But you got the devil card at the bottom of the deck. So someone is freeing themselves from this karmic connection, this karmic relationship. And this is the very scene that I was talking about. It's an episode where Tuxedo Mask, the divine masculine of the story, Sailor Moon's counterpart, there's a scene or it's an episode where he's possessed by the Dark Kingdom. This is that card. This is the imagery. You see Tuxedo Mask, he looks like the devil. Can't really see it because my lighting is shitty. And let me see if I can do something. Yeah, he was being possessed by the Dark Kingdom, and he was used as a pawn against the Sailor Guardians, like to turn his back on them, to attack them and all of that. This contract is coming to an end. Because your person, or it was you, or this is you. I don't know. You got to be to a place where you see now, because obviously if this is something that you were led to watch this, if this is you stuck. You see how they're chained together? This is a demonic contract. The pentagram is upside down. There's no balance. There's no balance of all four elements. This is a connection that's in balance. Someone sees, though. Someone sees a light, or they're coming into the light. This is because of renewal. Let go of the drugs, the binging. Let go of the over drinking, the alcohol, the sex. Conversations with this person, telling them your business. When you stop that, you're going to see this person for who they are. Stop sleeping with this person. Some of y'all, I'm not trying to tell grown adults what to do. If this is you watching, I'm telling you, when you don't sleep with this person anymore, you're going to see that this person is disgusting. You're not going to like this person, or you already don't like this person, but you're really going to see this person for who they are. You're going to see that dark cloud that they created in your life. You're going to see it. And for some, like I said, sometimes it be that we ourselves, we're operating in our shadow. I met that when I'm using myself as an example again, as a testimony. When I was dealing with that connection, like I said, I was operating in an energy of low self-esteem, seeking validation, the clothes I was wearing, the things I was doing. I was wilding out at that time in my life. And this is not somebody that I even wanted to be with. This was someone that I went with because they were available. So I tied myself to somebody I had no business tying myself to. So I'm telling you guys from experience that this shit is real. This connection was toxic on both ends. Like, we both hurt each other. I feel like, though, this person was more of the narcissist, though. And they just like really destroyed me at some point. And it wasn't until light bulb, when I went through my spiritual awakening, I seen this person and I was disgusted. I couldn't even sleep with this person anymore. Like, I was so turned off. I felt disgusting sleeping with them, and I didn't want them in my house anymore. I got like, and I still have love for this person. I have to, because they're still in my life, but I have to. But that connection was not for me. Like, and after that, to be honest, like after that, I was like, okay, well, what if I made a mistake? Like, maybe, what if that was because we were young and we were toxic, and I tried again, and God was like, no, nope. So, no, no, no. And if it's not you, this is your person. It takes someone saying to themselves, like, I'm going to do better. I'm going to heal. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let that go. And then when that happens, you don't vibe with the people that you once vibe with. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes it's the lifestyle that you've been living. Like, you just don't resonate with it anymore. It's sucking the life out of you. Turmoil. Wait, hold on. You got to do like the makeup have us do. Turmoil. The makeup tutorials. Confidant. See, this is a true divine connection. The confidant card, they see eye to eye, they see mind to mind. I feel like this person's coming out of it, and they do regret. See, the inner child card keeps coming out. What's her name? Chibi Moon. She keeps coming out in the cards. You see, ooh, the Four of Swords in the contemplation. There's Chibi Moon, and here she is in the sun. That inner child, that purity or that cleansing of yourself is what's going to bring you out of this dark energy. Chasing the light, seeking the light, or this is your person. Metamorphosis. This is my favorite card because I love this when she transforms. And she only transforms when she reaches that place of her heart chakra. That's when this super Sailor Moon activates. It's kind of like almost you'll notice a theme in like anime shows where they go into a super state. That is them, they're tapping into their power, tapping into that spiritual, like they reach that crown chakra energy. It starts here. Sailor Moon showed you it starts in the heart space. And it was the was it the Super S? I don't remember. I did a review on it. It was a movie. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, the Sailor Moon movie, but I think it has 2 parts. She was only able to defeat the enemy, and the enemy was mad as shit when her heart chakra started to awakening, and her and Tuxedo Mask, they kissed each other. And that intimacy, that represents the divine love, that unconditional love, that activation of the heart. When that happened, the enemy, she started screaming. The evil character, she started screaming. And that the scene, Sailor Moon turns into this. And this is one of her highest states, her highest form. This is activation. It's like when Goku, when his hair turns all white, and then you see that halo of color around him. It's like that. And then the episode, I love the show. The Last Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the last episode when he defeats the Fire Lord, he activates, and his eyes turn all white. His whole body turns in this like white color, and he starts ascending. That's the activation of the higher self. So when you get to that place, that's how you defeat the enemy. You don't defeat the enemy by stooping to their level, staying in that dark energy. You don't defeat the energy that way. You defeat it up high. Otherwise, it can't touch you. Either you elevate and you rise in that same energy, or you stay below me and you fight your damn self. You can't touch me. It's how it is. It's the energy. As one of my sis says, it's all about energy at the end of the day. It is. It is what it is. All right, so, yeah. Yep. So some of you guys were dealing with a false feminine or false masculine that has demonic energy, or your person that you're asking about. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a beautiful story, because I love Sailor Moon. It's something about that show. I don't know what it is. I mean, I get it, like the whole spiritual thing. I resonate with it. I love that show. It's my shit. Um, yeah, sure. Yeah, so that show, the Tuxedo Mask, him outside of his his mission self. So I call it the mission self. The mission self is Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus. All of them are in their highest state. They're in their calling, their purpose when they're doing that. So when they're their schoolgirl selves, or Darren as they call Tuxedo Mask in the English version, he's like a little older than Sailor Moon, I think. Yeah, he's older. He's kind of like he's a little bit of a dickhead, a little bit. Like, he's a smart ass, right? He's not perfect. But it got to like a place where him and Sailor Moon, like later on in the seasons, where they got cool and they got into a relationship, and he was really sweet towards her. But make no mistake, he wasn't perfect. So I think we get caught up in this false sense of what perfectionism is. Like, oh, you can't have ways and quirks about you, and it's just going to be so this and so blissful. Again, it's a character of a person. What's in that person's heart means everything. So if this person is a liar, a cheater, a thief, they one day might be completely different. That might have been just the life that they were caught up in, but not saying that you got to succumb to that. But it's all about discernment. You can tell the difference between a person. And I always say this: I can respect a person, period, but I can respect a man that acknowledges that they may want to be with you, but if they know in themselves that they are not for you and they stay away, I can respect that. I can respect that. That's a real person to say that, because when you're not ready for something, you can hold a person back, right? Or you can paint this false, expectation of something, and you know that you can't provide that. Or let's say you know that you're wounded, you know that you have issues, you could potentially pour that or spill those wounds onto other people. So I can respect when a person is like, I'm not ready, or I can't do this, like, and it might be hard to hear. It might be something that you don't want to accept. But if it's meant to be, you got to trust that it will come to pass. But if it's not, still respect that person helped you dodge a bullet. Can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at it. Yeah. And you don't have to force anything. Like, what's meant to be, it's going to come. And it's not saying that you have to be passive. Some cases, maybe you do have to be just receptive and allow things to come. And there's other cases where you have to be divinely, in that vibrational alignment to move as you're led to move. But you don't have to overly exert yourself. You don't have to force or try to control something to happen or to be if it's not that, because you're blocking what is meant to be, or the divine or right time for it to be. So yeah, it's really that simple, but it's almost like it's not that simple. Like, it's really not that simple. Shit. But sometimes the things that we want, it's like we don't see it because we're not in the place to receive it, right? You can't see it because you're not in the place to receive it. Or, let's say your person is not able to see. And again, your job is not to be like, oh, I'm going to prove to this person that I'm the one and I can do it all. I'm Superwoman. I'm Superman. Let me prove to you. You don't got to do that. The right person for you, you don't have to perform. That's a programming that we've learned as children, as we come into this world. We have to perform to be loved. I have to prove to you why I'm worthy. School teaches us that. Jobs teach us that. Love, programming teaches that, oh, if you have this amount of money, or you have this type of beauty or attractiveness or whatever, you have to have a certain thing, or you got to be able to cook, clean, do this, do that. As a woman, you got to be, and that's not everybody's purpose. It's not everybody's life, or it doesn't start off that way. It might be things that you guys come together as, and you create these things for yourselves, or you might not be the average beauty, but that doesn't mean that counts you out as not being beautiful. or not being worthy of love. I think that we have too many restrictions on what love should be, and that performance of I got to compete for love. I have to compete for men. I have to compete. When I believe this, that there's someone out there for everyone that wants love. It is. You have to be open to what that is. I feel like I was being too I'll speak for myself personally. I feel like I was being too limiting. Like, I could miss my mate if I'm thinking that he has to be a certain race, or he has to be in this city, this state, or this country. Like, we can limit what's meant for us. Yep. We can miss what's divinely meant if we put ourselves in these boxes. We can't see past just that, right? So I had to tell myself that, like, God, like, I had to pray, like, whoever's meant for me is meant for me. Like, they might not be where I'm from. They might not be the same complexion as me. They might be a different race. I have to be open. And I feel like Spirit is saying, don't put a limit on how you meet people, where you meet them, the timing. Don't do that to yourself. Those are programs. Those are programs. All right. So I'm done. Long story short, that is the reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I mean, it was more than a reading. It was kind of, like a little divine message and whatnot. YouTube try to play your girl over here with their rules and regulations and what they like and what they don't like. And they know that I said specifically to protect my channel, but they ain't listening. But it's not going to stop me. I love it, though. I love the warfare, because it's not going to stop me. It's not. As long as God is saying, like, I want you to do this, I want you to say that, you're not going to be able to stop me. You can't kill the vibe. You can't kill the essence. You can't. You just cannot. And any other readers, I send y'all love, because I know how it be out here. Like, we're not for the faint-hearted. We're not. The gaslighting and the condemning and all of that doesn't work. So that little troll on here, that doesn't work. Like, you can shove it up your ass. That's what you can do. Go heal. But I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Much love as always. And I don't know if that other one, I might just delete the part 2, because there's no point in posting it, because I said everything that needed to come out in this one. So, yep, we're done. We're out. Be blessed. Be safe, y'all. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.